Welcome to another episode of Compa Financial Therapy. I am Danny.
And I am Mike, your compadres with financial stories.
How was your week?
It was good.
It was good.
It was chill.
Want to talk about the weather this week?
You know,
I know you want to say it. Go ahead, say it.
It's been hot. It's been hot as hell. Super hot. Humid. You can feel it. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, step outside and it's hot.
Hey, but we have air conditioning.
That's true. That's true. We do have air conditioning.
So, the other day I was remembering somebody was asking me once that, or they were kind of bragging that they started their own business.
Was that me?
No, it wasn't you. Somebody else.
Okay.
They already been around for a while, and
because I don't brag.
Well, the person kept telling me, "Oh yeah, I have my own business," and he was describing what his business was.
Right.
And at the end, I told him, you don't have a business, you have a job.
Right.
And
or a hobby, no?
Well, it's a hobby. It's a hobby, or Do you know what the difference between a business and a job is?
A business and a job. What I'm thinking is a business, and this is from the way that I'm seeing it right now. A business would be something, and if it's you, business is the one that's making all the money, right? And the job is they're just paying you a small percentage of whatever the business may be bringing in. Did I get that right?
Somewhat. The key difference, and I think if those people who don't understand this,
me,
well, their business never grows.
Okay.
The difference between a business and a job is that a business, you walk away, vacation, you walk away for a day or two or even a week or a month, business continues making money.
Okay.
A job, if you stop working, you stop making money.
Right.
So those people who have businesses and they say, I can't leave the business because I'm not going to get paid or I can't go on vacation, it's a job.
Right. And I've heard people saying that, like, I can't step away, I can't take a day off from my business porque luego I'm going to lose money.
Exactly. That's a job. Even though they're self-employed,
right,
they're working for the business. The business is not working for them.
Gotcha.
And that once you learn the difference and you understand it, and you gear your business to where it starts making you money, other people work for you. Right? In that aspect, because you got somebody else managing or somebody else doing the day-to-day operations when you're away, and it's making you money. Now you have a real true business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to set up my business differently then, huh?
Yeah. If you want to where the business expands or the business, because as a job, you could only make so much.
Right.
When you have a business, you could expand it, you could duplicate it, you could
right. Even franchise if you want
it. Exactly. Right. So see, now you understand what a business is,
I'm
right?
getting it. As I'm getting older, I'm understanding,
Yeah. So if you have that in mind when you're starting up a business, automatically you'll know, okay, wait a minute, how am I going to set up my business to where I have to be there to structure it. I have to be there to do my business plan, how it's going to operate, and manage it.
Right.
But you have to have your systems in place, meaning that how a thing's going to operate to where you could walk away and the business continues functioning without you being there.
Right. That's nice. Once you can do that, that's nice.
Once you do that, then it's a true business.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that don't understand that. And I think that's key to a successful business. And the person that I was remembering the other day, to this day, he's been doing it for 15 years now.
Oh, good.
And he's a one-man shop. And still to this day, he can't go on vacation, especially in certain times of the year because his business is geared to certain weather. He can't go anywhere.
Right. And
if he goes somewhere, it will be like a Vegas trip.
Something fast,
quick, because he has to be back by Monday. Otherwise, he's going to lose his business or his clients.
Is there a reason why he hasn't hired anybody else to help him, or
because he's never set it up to where others want to work for him?
Okay.
And I remember when I had my business back, several years ago, and I told him, "Hey, I have the staff. I'll help you. We'll help you set it up. We'll help you grow." He didn't want to. He goes, "No, I got this under control." So after 15 years, 20 years, he's still in the same boat. And he'll be there like that until he probably retires. And I'm hoping that he probably listens to us, and maybe he invests his 401k, invests his money, because otherwise, I don't know how he's going to do it.
What's the point? Huh?
You know, once you get old, you can't keep doing that same type of job.
Right.
You know, especially the industry that he's in.
Do you think maybe it has anything to do with him not feeling comfortable or confident that somebody else can help him run it? Because sometimes we want to take control and have control and make sure that nobody's screwing us over.
Well, if you set up your business right, you always know what's going on.
Right.
Through, especially technology nowadays, you got phones, you got computers.
Right.
You set up your systems, you could tell what's going on with the business. If you have, let's say, some type of business that requires you to track people, well, can you do a website that your employees log in and do specific tasks that helps them automate their task? At the same time, you're knowing what's going on.
You know who I heard has been good at doing that? Amazon.
Well, yeah.
I heard that they have a thing, it times you or something that you have to move. If you don't move within 5 minutes, or they give you like a 5-minute gap where if you don't move, like it starts.
Wait, how do you think they move so much?
Yeah.
Packages, because they've automated. They're tracking their employees by seeing the tasks that they're. Every time they scan something, they already know. Okay, we got another package out,
and this is where he's at, and this is where he's
exactly.
at.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying Amazon, but I'm saying like if I had a business like that, if I worked for a business like that and I couldn't move, I wouldn't be able to shit within 5 minutes.
What do you mean? Well, no. I mean, it's true.
It takes us a little bit longer, you know.
Well, you would have to wear diapers.
That's probably what they're going to recommend, right?
Well,
Bring a medical note. You can wear
Pampers. Weren't they doing that with Amazon or something? Or some business that they forced their employees to wear diapers because they were taking too long to go to the restroom. Which that's a whole different OSHA and
legal stuff.
Yeah.
I still wear Pampers, but not to work.
Well, that's a different fetish. That's a whole different thing.
That's for next week.
But yeah. So if when you set up your business, think about the systems like the McDonald's, the Subways. If you go to one McDonald's, you go to a Subways, or you go to what's another franchise, In-N-Out.
Right.
What do you see between all of them?
What do you mean?
Yeah, when you go to any of these establishments, if you go to one in LA, another one in San Diego, they're all the same.
Right.
They all have the same look, same style, same way they prepare their food. Well, it's not by accident. It's on purpose. It's when they set up their business, they decided to set up how things are going to look, how they're going to be managed.
Right. Day
to day. How a hamburger is going to be created. So their employees, they all create the same product the same way. And if you go to Subways, they do it, right?
Right. So I'm thinking about it when you mentioned that. I used to work for the competitor for McDonald's. I won't say the name, but it had the initials B&K. Similar to Burger King. Well, it was Burger King. And they used to...
you don't want to say it, right?
Well, they had a training thing, right? And they would train you in what sequence each ingredient went.
Se te salió lo quiero, man.
Se me salió. I'm sorry. Perdóname, Burger King. And they would tell you exactly, like, in this order, you're going to put this, and then this after that, you're going to put this. And everybody had to do it the same way. And sometimes the supervisors or the managers would watch, and they would see you, and they're like, that's not the way you do it. You put the lettuce before the onions or lo que sea.
And there's a purpose for that.
Right.
Now you probably, after our conversation, you're trying to say why they were, because they want to make sure that every establishment is always the same.
Right.
I mean, of course, there's minor variations, but pretty much, if you go to McDonald's, you're going to get your hamburger, it looks the same.
Right.
Should taste the same. If you go to Subways, they're going to prepare it the same. When you go in, there's a line, and you go from one station to the next to the next, and it's because that's how they set up. So a real business starts looking at that from day one. How are you going to set up your business? Right. And we're only talking about restaurants right now, but that same technique applies to everything else. Right. In construction, in medical office. If you go to a dental office, there's always a pattern, right? They greet the customer a certain way. They'll give you certain forms. All that is part of setting up your business. Mm-hmm. So when you set up your business, start thinking about that. If you do something in that fashion where you're thinking how to, you could duplicate it or expand it or have others do the work that you're doing, eventually it'll be easy to transition from one establishment to multiple establishments.
And I remember we talked about this before. I think a couple of years back in 10 years ago. You showed me, we were talking about a business, and you showed me a business plan también.
Yes. Business plan is the first step.
See, and that was I remember it was a thick business plan. Lengthy, in
Well, I
detail.
mean, you could do some very simples, but the best ones is a detail one, exactly. Right. Because if you do a detail, you're telling a story how your business is going to be from greeting a customer to how the establishment is going to look, color schemes. If you notice In-N-Out, all of them have red and white, right? With palms.
And the palm trees, yeah.
That's their theme throughout all In-N-Outs. Right. And McDonald's, I think, I don't know, it's yellow and...
is there yellow and red?
Red, yeah. And then they all have their specific looks and feels. So if you go to one in Mexico, the one in China and Europe, they all look the same pretty much.
They have a good branding. And they also spend a lot of money for their research. Every single thing, like their color and everything.
Well, there's certain colors that attract certain types of, or give you different moods. And when you walk into a building, or that becomes into like the architectural, and so it is important.
It
is important.
I don't got that kind of money though.
No, but you could do research now with
I'll Google it.
Google it. You could.
What color should I make my business? What name should I add to it? Like I say,
yeah,
we'll take care of it that way.
Same thing. Back in the day, the length of the name, or the what letter it started with, because if you're looking at the Yellow Pages, which back then, if those who don't know what a Yellow Pages,
you're dating yourself right there,
was a book where all businesses, no tanto, it's a book that where people would advertise,
right,
and it would go through from A through Z.
Right.
So if you were Z, most of the time people would start in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be critical. Or same thing, an ad would be charged based on the number of characters.
It's true.
So if you made your ad, 3 letters, cheaper than
something that's
exactly
right.
Or same thing on billboards. It's based on size, square footage. So all that you have to think about when you're setting up a business. How are you going to set it up?
Okay. Well, we got to look into that too, because I got maybe a business venture coming up. I'm hoping to do it this year.
Well, that's why I decided this would be a perfect topic to give you a little bit where you could start setting up your business plan. A business plan is basically a guide or a pattern that you're going to use to guide you throughout the process, as where you're setting it up and you're running your business, and who's going to be your market, who's going to be your competitors. You start analyzing all that information, so when the door opens in day one, you already know what you need to do. It's not that you can't change it, because that business plan should change as long as your business is growing.
I was going to ask that, like, should you be modifying based on experience or whatever's going on?
If you say, initially I'm going to have this certain form, or I'm going to greet customers a certain way, and let's say that doesn't work, then maybe you could change it to where it's more appealing, where it's a learning experience for your type of business and how it's going to function. The other key thing that's in managing a business or establishing a business is how you're going to establish it, meaning that type of entity.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard, there's sole proprietor.
Sole proprietor, yeah.
There's partnerships.
I've heard limited liability partnerships, LLPs.
The LLPs. Those two are pretty much similar. The only difference is sole proprietor is one person.
Right.
And the partnership is you and somebody else.
Two or more, okay.
Yeah, multiple people. And then after that, there's the limited liability companies, what the
LLC.
people, LLCs. And then you got the corporations, S Corp, B Corp, C Corps.
Right.
And I think there's maybe one more. What's the difference between all of them?
So from what I've known and what I've seen, one of the differences is the tax rate, from what I've seen. Right. I think an LLC is taxed at, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like at 17% tax, versus the corporations, I think they're double taxed, right? 34%, algo así.
It's not the tax rate. It's something what's called double taxation.
Right.
Some types of entities, they're only taxed once. It's a pass-through type of tax. But the key difference where it starts changing from sole proprietorship and partnerships, from that point forward, to LLCs and corporations is that the first two,
Mm-hmm.
they don't protect you in any form or fashion. So let's say, for example, you start your business and you're a sole proprietor or a partnership. You get sued.
Right.
Anything you own, your house, your car,
And you're talking about anything outside of the business too, right?
outside of the business,
Everything that belongs to you.
anything that belongs to you that has your name attached to it, it's free game.
Say goodbye to it, huh?
Say goodbye to it. If you lose and you lose your lawsuit, they could come and take it.
Right.
Now, from an LLC all the way to the different corporations, that right there, you're a little protected.
Right.
As long as you don't break what they call the corporate veil.
What's that? I've never
A corporate veil is meaning that in a corporation, pretend that there's like a veil around it. So meaning that it's protected like a shield. And meaning that as long as you don't mix your personal funds
Right.
with the business funds, the corporate veil is intact. That shield hasn't been broken. So once you break that shield, the veil is
Open
broken.
game, huh?
It's open game.
I'm not.
So what do you do to prevent that? Keep separate accounts. Keep the books for the company you got to treat the company as a different person
Right.
versus, part of you. You got to treat it as a person, and you got to treat yourself an employee of the company, pay yourself salaries, treat yourself as an employee. That pretty much protects you from
So you're talking about also like separate bank accounts,
Separate
checking,
bank,
savings,
exactly.
credit card, lo que sea, ¿verdad?
exactly
So
everything.
I heard about that. You had mentioned that to me before years ago when we talked about a different business that I was looking into. And then recently, I think I went to one of those living trust and wills conferences, and the lady was talking about like if you have rental property, put the rental property under an LLC.
Correct.
And I never understood, and I didn't realize that until she mentioned it. And then I came talking to you, and you're like, yeah, because you want to protect yourself for that specific reason.
Well, and then the question is, how many properties do you want to put per LLC?
Right.
Typically, they say one property, one LLC.
Mm.
But sometimes, if you have a single family home and you have another single family home, they're rentals, you might want to have two, maybe. So it really depends on how much you're willing to risk.
Right.
So, for example, if let's say you have an LLC that has two single family homes and somebody falls and dies, or you forgot to fix the stairs and that person, boom, cracks his head.
Right.
You got the chingastas, man. So what happens, they're going to sue you and you only have $1 million liability insurance, and they're suing you for $5 million. Well, what are you going to do?
What do you do? I don't know.
Yeah. So what happens is if they're suing you for more than what your insurance covers, they go after whatever assets the company has.
Sure.
So if you're okay losing the second house in that LLC, okay, that's not bad. If they can't break that corporate veil, they can't touch it.
Okay.
So once they break that corporate veil, they could go after everything else. So ideally is you have multiple LLCs for multiple buildings. So if one building gets in trouble, you lose that one. At least you have 5, 6 other buildings set aside, protected from getting sued.
And something to think about too, when you have multiple LLCs, each LLC, I think I checked earlier this year, $800 a year, right?
That's the standard
Right.
in California. That's the cost for maintaining an LLC. Now,
Right.
that's just for the state. Besides that, you have to do your own income taxes
Right.
for the LLC and pay somebody to do your LLC.
Right.
I mean, unless you're a tax accountant, so I tell everybody who's going to set up an LLC, budget about $1,500 to $2,000 a year to manage it, and pretend it's an insurance.
Right. It's similar to just a protection insurance policy for yourself, right? $1,500. And even I think when you're talking about $1,500 a year, personally, when I did the math in my head, with the 2 brain cells that I still have left, $1,500 was even more than I think. Personally, I think because my tax accountant, I know how much he charges, then I still have money left over.
Yeah.
Yeah. ¿Qué pasó?
The 2 brain cells.
Oh, you think that's over exaggerating too? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because she doesn't. Well, our tax, but we don't give her a lot of work either. She's not like she's got numbers and to be.
Do you go to a tax accountant does that on the side, or is it actually a CPA?
She's a CPA, Hispana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Spanish speaking, Argentina.
That's good.
I think she's from
Certified public accountant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's her job, 24/7.
I'm at least I've never met a Hispanic one. That's
Really?
good to hear. Yeah.
She's good. I like her.
Yeah.
We've been going with her for 17 years.
Oh wow.
16, 17 years.
Yeah, because the CPA that I use is they're not Hispanic. It's a big firm, so.
So yeah, even that she doesn't charge us a lot. And I used to have an LLC before, and she never charges a lot for it.
That's
But
good.
you know, it wasn't a lot of big numbers anyways.
That's good.
So she didn't have to do crack.
Pretty
that a
soon
lot.
she's gonna start charging you a lot, man.
Pretty soon she's gonna raise it up.
She's órale, yeah.
No, she's gonna see the numbers this year and be like, like,
I got you this time.
You made it, huh?
I'm getting my Mercedes this year.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But yeah, and I think 1,500 to 2,000 is a good number, just in case.
Yeah.
Porque you just never know.
Yeah, I think if you budget that, that's more than enough to manage the LLC, and of course make sure you have your paperwork separate from your personal to your corporation.
Right.
And remember, all that is tax write-off. You know, the cost for maintaining an LLC, the cost for maintaining an office, all those are deductions that you put on your LLC.
And then even the sole proprietor ones, I know sole proprietors, you don't have to file any paperwork, right? You just have to get your tax identification number.
Well, that's one thing, but if you are operating in a fictitious name, so for example,
Right, DBA.
you know, you're Mike, and if you decide to name the business XXXXY,
Well, I got a business name, Mike the Dyke. That's going to be the LLC.
you know what? I think as long as your name's on it, even though it says Dyke on it, I think you don't have to do a fictitious filing.
I'm going to look into it. That might be an easy way for me. Yeah?
That can be your new nickname, Mike the Dyke.
Yes, so I know sole proprietor, you don't have to file any paperwork. I think or nothing like where you have to pay something every year. Like the LLC, you have to pay $800.
Yeah, and the sole proprietor you don't. You just got to do your taxes on your personal, but because it's treated as your personal.
Earned income, yeah.
So when you do a fictitious filing, it's not that complicated either. You go to the local register recorder's office, fill out a form. The hard thing is finding a business name that doesn't already.
So you can actually check it on the website.
Yeah.
Under sos.ca.gov, Secretary of State.california.gov.
Well, that's for the LLC and the corporations.
Right.
Then for the fictitious filing, you have to go to that local county website. And it's two different agencies you have to look at.
Right.
So for the sole proprietor and partnerships, you go to them, the county, and see if that name exists or doesn't exist. And you find that a lot of the times the name's already there.
You got to switch something up.
You got to switch it up.
And then I know for the LLC you have to submit something because you're doing the DBA, the doing business as. You have to put it in the newspaper, right, for like a month or something like that.
That's doing the fictitious filing.
Right.
But that's not for the LLC, because the LLC you don't have to do that.
I think they made me do it for the LLC when I had it one time.
Because you're registering that. When you're registering the LLC with the state, you're already telling everybody, I am Mike, I'm going to be operating my business under this name, and it's an LLC. So that's why you don't have to do it.
When I did it, how long ago was this? Because when I did it, I think it was 20...
I've had several
2010?
LLCs, and we've never had to.
Never?
No, not for LLCs.
Shoot, when I went through it, I think they made me do it. And I remember because I did it, I found like this cheap newspaper that was charging $35 for a month.
Yeah, no. But I've had to do fictitious filing for non, like sole proprietor business type of business. And for those, you go to the local newspaper, you put the ad. I think it's 60 days now.
Oh, damn.
30 or 60 days. 30 days. 30 days, yeah.
But I find it to be funny. I find it a way with a fictitious name because you can put in any newspaper, right? And the purpose of that is in case somebody has that name, then they can be like, hey, that's my name. But there's so many newspapers out there, so many news companies. Like,
You're not gonna see it.
Yeah, nobody's gonna see it.
I think it's just a way of making money.
No.
Another couple of things you have to remember about name is, trademarks.
Right.
Trademark your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different whole process that you do with the U.S. government to make sure that nobody takes that name that you decided to.
I gotta look into it.
Yeah, it's a trademark. So if it's a specific name and if it's a catchy name,
Mike the Dyke is catchy.
Mike the Dyke, but I think I might be taken. If we look it up, I'll bet you it's taken.
I'm gonna look it up. I'll come back next week. I'll give you an update.
I'm pretty sure it's taken. You'll be surprised that like, whoa.
You think somebody's as creative as me to come up with that?
I think I've heard that one before. You're not that creative, man. So back to the drawing board.
It's getting personal.
So there you go. Just a quick rundown and types of business. And going back with the corporations now and the LLCs, the difference is how it's taxed. And from an LLC to a corporation, S corp and a C corp, is the structure. like the LLCs, you don't have to have board members. You don't have to
sell stocks, and the S corps and the C corps, those you have to have certain types of board members. You have to have certain types of meetings. One of those you could actually sell stocks. That's how you could buy like the stocks that we're talking about Ford, and those are typically like C corps.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do a business where eventually you want to sell stocks and raise money by selling stocks, then you should start looking into a corporation.
See, that's one of the questions I was going to ask. What are the benefits or the pros of filing as a corporation? But it's what you're mentioning right now, right?
Well, one is the downside is the double tax.
Right.
The corporate gets taxed for the money it makes, and then when it pays you your dividends, you get taxed for the dividends that you paid. So it's double tax. So for the details on that, I think that's where you start getting into like the really tax type accounting. Maybe that's where you should consult with a tax attorney or a CPA that can guide you a little bit. What's the best structure for that? To start off, most companies probably LLC.
And I think it's one of the easiest ways también, ¿verdad?
Yeah. And I think
really easy.
You could always upgrade down the line if you want to change your company from an LLC to S corp. There's a process of doing that, but it can be done.
Honestly, when I filed my own LLC, easy. I did my own paperwork. I filed everything because I was cheap. I was like, no, I don't want to pay an attorney. They're charging $1,500, $2,000 to file paperwork. Easy to file that paperwork. Easy.
You just go to the state, fill out some forms, and that's it. Did you create your own operating agreement? And
I think I had to file something. There was some other paperwork that had to do some articles of something. I was like,
articles of incorporation and your operating agreement. Operating agreement shows who are the managers, how the managers are going to work. That's what the operating agreement is.
Yeah, I did that, and then I think there was another person I had to identify as like this person to be served in case of any legal stuff.
For what?
For an LLC, I had to choose somebody to be like the person who's going to be the person that gets served. Like, let's say there was some legal documents, like they're going to serve this person. Like, digamos, at the point in time it was me.
That's usually when you register, it tells you who's like the service. What do they call it?
Representative, algo así. Service agent, algo así.
Service agent. There you go. That's the word we were looking for. And
so there's minor things you got to do, but honestly, if you read the website, Secretary of State, it walks you through everything, every single thing. It's not that hard.
And then there's another good website. Is the Small Business SBA Gov.
Right.
They have a lot of like sample business plans. They have ways to set up your business, the type of ownership, where to go get money. So it gives you a little breakdown of the different types of corporate information. So that's another good source of like when you're starting your business.
Small business, okay.
Yeah. And then there's other thing that you have to look for is certain types of business requires licensing, your local licensing, or state. If you're going to sell alcohol, that goes with the state. If you're going to sell just products, you have to register with the state and maybe your local.
Maybe a reseller's license.
Reseller's license.
Everybody wants a cut, right?
Everybody gets a cut.
I remember I had to file así con el state. Y luego también with the board of that specific business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Y luego I had to file with the city I was in. Like, well, my home is going to be my business. And I had to explain to them, like, ¿qué va a pasar? Are you guys going to be bringing guns to this house? Not like, I really had to write if I were going to bring guns. It was a security company. And all sorts of stuff we had to tell them. And then they had to approve it. And once they approved it, I had to pay them X amount, I think, per year. No me recuerdo.
Yeah, and it varies from city to city. Some cities want a business license for any type of business. Right. And there's some other cities that only brick and mortar stores require a business license. So it varies. It varies from city to city. Nowadays the state allows that you could do what they call cottage industry, which is meaning like you want to make cookies and like baked goods.
Right.
You can actually physically sell them now. It's all legal. You apply to the state and you apply to the local health department,
right?
And they'll go inspect your house and you get your license and you could start a cookie business, a cake business.
Right.
So
I didn't know about that. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's called cottage industry.
Cottage industry. I'm gonna look into it. I might want to make some cookies, special kind of cookies.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. You might make some money.
Yeah.
Some brownies and.
Right. I remember those brownies.
But then that's gonna kill your remaining 2 brain cells if you don't eat the product.
That's true.
What do you think about?
I'll think about it tomorrow. I gotta give this brain a little break. But I mean, I remember even with the when I was fighting with the city, with the local government, it was they wanted to know if I was going to put a banner outside of my house, and if I was going to put a banner, I think I had to file también paperwork
to
for
sign.
that. Yeah,
At
a
the
signage
sign.
outside of my house.
Yeah.
And get approval for that too.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, everybody wants a piece, man.
Everybody gets a cut. And then
Oh,
after that, you start making money, Uncle Sam's wants a piece.
They want more, yeah.
You want a big piece of your
Chorizo?
chorizo.
Well, I'm not selling chorizo, but whatever.
Yeah, so
It is what it is.
it is what it is. But if you structure it right, you have your good write-offs, Uncle Sam could get his share, and it's okay. Everybody makes money.
Right.
You know, I'm pretty sure, what is it, Elon Musk is not complaining right now. He's the second richest guy in the U.S., right? And Jeff Bezos
The first one, huh?
is a bit
Man,
number one.
that guy Jeff.
You think well, most of those guys, they've already figured out they don't have to pay a lot of taxes.
Of course. Amazon, I think, was skipping out on some taxes, right, for a while.
Yeah. Well, I heard that, was it General Electric?
Uh-huh.
They paid almost like zero in taxes.
How do
And
they-
the way they do it is they hire tax people that used to work for the IRS,
Right.
and they hire them so they know all the loopholes. They know
loopholes.
how to do all the write-offs. So their tax, deductions are really high. So
Right.
they pay very little more in tax.
But don't they have, at least for us, it was this year when we filed taxes, they're like, there's a limit that you can claim.
Yeah, but I don't know. That gets into the tax.
But I don't have people.
They figure it out.
I haven't hired any former IRS employees and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put that on my next to-do list. To do and a former IRS employee. Toma.
You got a while before you need them, man.
What do you mean, bro?
Yeah, I mean, by the time you got to make $50 million a year.
I'm
Are you there?
where?
50 million yet?
I don't like to brag, Danny. Pero,
When you get there, then you'll start looking for something.
all right, I'll let you know when that happens.
Yeah, but I don't know,
It
man.
won't be this year, but whatever. At some point.
So there you go. That's my breakdown on starting a business, owning a business. What is a business?
Right.
And so, did I make it clear enough for you, or that inspire you what to go get your business now?
I might close it down. I don't want to. I might close it down. Just.
Did I scare you?
Was that
though?
even open yet?
Did I scare you?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just a lot of information, The one I'm very familiar with is LLC. Look, the rest I don't know, and I don't think I'm gonna ever. At least I don't see myself at any point being a corporation or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean those, unless it's a certain type of business, and I don't think you need to worry about those
Yeah.
right now. But initially, to start off, Alice is probably the one that you need to get familiar with.
Right. Just to protect yourself, want to make sure they don't come after your personal assets. Then you're not gonna have a car to take your kids to school. You forget it.
You can be homeless, no house.
That's true.
I ran into somebody once where they had a trucking business, and something happened. They got sued, and they were commingling the funds. I think they were taking their part of the business money, mixing it with their own personal. So they broke the corporate veil. They lost everything. They went after everything. Al último no supe qué pasó, but I know they were almost about to lose everything. They were like fighting, like, no, you can't touch my house. No, they were going after the house.
Damn.
So especially the lawyers, they'll go after anything
Yeah.
that they want to get.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They're making money, right?
Yeah.
The more the merrier. That sucks.
Yeah, I remember I had a lawyer once on one project, and they were suing a company, and he goes, "I don't care if they have to lose their house. I'm getting paid on this one."
Damn.
That's their attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. It's their business, Go get them.
And again, the more money they make,
Mm-hmm.
they make for you, the more money they're gonna get. They're gonna get a big cut también, Makes sense. We're in the wrong business.
Well, lawyers, I don't know. I also know some lawyers that are starving. So
That's true. I hear it on the radio, on this one radio station AM. They were saying that they're not making a lot of money nowadays. For a couple of years already, they haven't been making a lot of money. They're making maybe like an average salary.
probably, yeah. The majority of them, they don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You get that 1% that make tons of money.
Right. Maybe for celebrities or whatever it is.
Yeah, but the majority what they call the ambulance lawyers, they don't make a lot of money.
The ones that are chasing.
Maybe because they got to go get an accident, and then they could only make a little bit amount of that off of that.
Yeah.
So, hey, it is a business though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm excited about something.
What you say?
Have you seen the Ford commercial for the F-150 Lightning?
Oh yeah, it's that new electric truck.
Dude.
I'm thinking of getting one maybe.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Another electric vehicle?
I love electric vehicles.
Ándale.
You know, compare a electric vehicle to a gas vehicle, the amount, the cost to drive it
Right.
is minimum. Let me give you an example. I took my electric vehicle to Vegas not too long ago.
Right.
How much do you think I spent in electricity going back and forth?
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know how they equate it, but if I had to say equivalent to gas, let's suppose it was 1 to 1.
Just dollar amount. Just look at dollar amount.
So I'm thinking about my experience with our car. I would say $120.
$25
$25 round trip.
round trip.
Damn.
That's what pretty much what it came out to. I charged it here at home, one up to the max, and then on the way over there I stopped at Baker. That was like $8, I think, and then
Is that for a full charge or
that was when I got to Baker, it was half a charge.
okay?
So I got there and then I charged it completely. Got to Vegas, didn't charge it at all. I drove around all weekend, and right before I came back the night before, I did charge it, or that morning I charged it, and that was from almost like 30% to max, and that was another like $10, $12.
Damn.
And then on the way back, I stopped once, and that was another $5, $8. So do the math. It was about $25.
Right.
That's how much it cost.
Do you feel like it's a hassle when you got to stop to recharge? Because you're obviously stopping more than you would for a car, right? I mean, a gas vehicle.
Well, going, I only had to stop once. Coming back, because there was so much traffic, and I had autopilot on, and I think that used up a lot of the battery. Because initially it told me you'll have enough to make it all the way to your home.
Right.
And so I thought it will be fine. But once I got to the 15 and the 210 freeway,
See.
said no, you're not gonna make it. So you got to start pulling off and look for the next charger.
Does it tell you dónde están the
Yeah.
charging station? Okay.
It's nice because it tells you where all the chargers are at and tells you how much power you're gonna have by the time you get to it.
Okay.
So it is an inconvenience because you have to kind of like plan your trip.
Right.
And there's some areas that, there's no chargers. I mean, some time ago I went up to the mountains and no, there's nothing up there. So that's the downside.
Right.
I mean, you could charge it on a regular outlet if you really need to, but you'll be there for
Forever, huh?
Forever. But on the regular chargers, 15, 20 minutes.
Damn. That's
It's
not
pretty
bad.
quick. If it's a busy charging station, like if they're all full, it'll take you about 30 to 45 minutes.
Right.
But I've been in some time ago, I needed to go see a friend, and I charged it for 15 minutes, and it gave me almost like what I needed,
Not
to
bad.
charge.
But do all of them charge? All those charging stations, or is some of them free?
They all charge.
Okay.
And it's based on peak hours. If it's based on how many people are charging, so it varies.
Like a demand también. Huh?
It's based on demand.
Okay.
But it charges per kilowatt. It's like 12 cents a kilowatt or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, the car, it's I think like 60, 70 kilowatts. I think total.
Damn.
I think.
Okay.
Is that about right? Yeah, give or take.
You're looking at our audience.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so that aspect I like, and also an electric car. Well, you don't have to do smog check.
Right.
You don't have to. And what's the nice thing about it that when you brake, if you have the regenerative braking,
Right. It
As
sends
it-
it back to the
it
car.
sends it
right?
back.
The battery.
So that does work. So you don't use your brakes as much.
Oh shit.
So they say, I haven't had a chance to replace it, and I haven't had a need, that your brakes don't go out as frequent as a regular car.
Nice.
So maintenance, it's going to be a lot less.
Right.
I mean, I've only owned the car 2 years now. 2 years. So
Has it been that long already?
yeah, I think so. But then when the 1 year I didn't really drive it because we were in the pandemic thing. So,
Right.
but I've taken it out to San Diego. There, same thing. I charged it once, and we went all the way to San Diego, and then we crossed to Apple Valley. No, not Apple Valley. Indio. So we had to charge it at Indio. Well, no, actually, we charged it a little bit in Temecula, because we were gonna go through the mountains,
Right.
and then we charged it in Indio, and the same thing. The trip was like $15. So Cost wise, yeah. If I would have gone my trip to Vegas, it would have cost my car, a regular car, would have been like 40 each time you fill, so about 120.
Yeah, I think that's how much we spend usually when we take the SUV. About 120.
Oh, SUV right now is about 150, just one full tank.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
So the reason I finally saw the commercial for the F-150, I thought it was a brand new commercial. I don't really watch TV, but esta vez it popped out on YouTube. Dude, I was amazed. It's nice. It's freaking nice.
Well, one thing, it looks like a regular truck.
Right.
And I don't know if you know this, that truck, if you want to power your house and the power goes out,
I saw
you
that.
connect it and you can power your house. So I think that's why Ford stock's going to go up, because if they do promise everything that they're showing in their commercial and if you look at the website, it's going to be a nice truck.
They're claiming that. So I saw it once, right? And the volume was very low, and I'm like, okay. And then I seen that it was like charging from the truck to the house. I said, no, that can't be true. So I went back the next day, and I was telling my wife, I was telling her, I was like,
She's going to want you to start paying.
she's already just talking about put me on payroll. Okay, you talked about me last time. Girl, I don't put you on payroll because you already get all my checks, but whatever. So I went back and I
No
put
te enojes, man. No te enojes.
No, man.
You need to get out of here, man.
So I went back and I saw the commercial with the volume up, and yeah, they can charge your, it can power your house.
Yeah.
I was reading for the commercial said they claim for 3 days.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
long? Oh, wow.
I think it's got like a 9. I think it's a 9.
Well, it's a big battery, so yeah, I could see that.
That was amazing, but there's gonna be something obviously to connect somewhere to power your house. ¿Me entiendes?
Yeah.
There's gonna have to be something
I think probably you'll have the home charger, and there will allow you to do
Like
the
reverse it or whatever?
Yeah.
And then I was reading it. Does it have like 9 or 11 outlets you can plug stuff in?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then a few USB in the what they call the frunk.
The front trunk.
Yeah.
I like that function because of trucks. Usually you have that big bed and
Right.
you can't store things in there. On the trunk, front, it's like a trunk.
Dude, it looked really nice. I was amazed. So what did I do?
Did you put an order?
No, hell
Or
no.
did you reserve it? No.
No, hell no. I don't got that kind of money. Then you just finished asking if I
Actually,
have,
it's not going to be that expensive.
what's it gonna run for?
I think the starting price for the first model is like $35.
That's not bad.
And then for like the one that's kind of decent with the range of I think 300 or 400, that's like 45,000.
That's not bad.
For a truck, it's not. It's almost equivalent to a regular truck.
Right.
So.
And so I bought some stocks, some shares,
Oh. Yeah.
and I bought some for my son too.
And they're cheap too.
They're not expensive, man.
Right now.
$13 each.
Yeah.
13 something each.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting them to, like you mentioned it. I'm expecting it to blow up. The
Oh,
F-150, I think, is their number 1 selling car or truck.
Yeah. If they promise, if they get out what they promise, I think that truck's going to be really popular.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already the F-150 is already popular.
Right.
But with that, for commuting around for contractors and the
They're gonna love
hobbyists,
it.
you're going to love it.
Because before, I'm sure the gas was kind of crazy on that. Gas right now?
Oh, to fill up a truck right now at gas, you're looking at minimum $120.
A week, I'm sure. Or maybe a few
Yeah.
days, no?
So imagine if you have a charger at home and if you have solar panels, how much you're going to pay for filling up your truck and drive around in the city, because you could go, I think, like 300 miles. Let's say 250.
See, I saw that it said 300.
So let's say 250. Okay, for the day. You come home, you charge it. By morning, you have a full tank per se. It's not a tank, but you have a full charge.
Right.
You'll never have to go, go to charger. You could do it, for long trips. Electric vehicles will get better when they have charging stations that can charge fast
Right.
and more accessible. Like from here to Vegas, there's plenty for certain types of vehicles. I think Tesla, there's plenty. But I think Tesla's going to open it up to other non-Teslas and it's going to charge a little bit more.
Nice.
If they do that, since you already have the infrastructure, there's quite a bit of Teslas. But there's places you still can't go. You can't go to national parks like Sequoia, Yosemite. You can't go to certain areas like in the mountains, and they don't have fast chargers. Once they change that, it's a game changer. And I think they're going to have to, because was it in California by 2030?
2030, yeah.
No more gas cars.
Right. And I think even the government GM, I think the federal government just upgraded their contract, right, with GM to make all their vehicles electric también.
Yeah.
So I bought stocks in GM también.
You know what? I need to buy GM.
Yeah.
I don't have GM.
Do it.
Put a note to myself, buy GM stock.
I think GM is like 50 something right now. 50 or 50 something.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
And again, stocks are long term, 2035. The government is going to have all their vehicles electric. So
Yeah, I bought some Tesla stocks when it first came out, and those went up quite a bit.
those went up a lot, yeah. My son has some of those. He's got Tesla. Anything he likes, Tesla. Ahí vamos. He doesn't have a lot. Some are fractions, some are slices.
But that's key when buying stock. You buy stuff that you like,
Right.
and you know. I mean, that's the first rule. If you do that, you do decent.
One of my strategies and my tips también for investing in Ford is I have to go back and do some research to see who's supplying them.
Who's what?
Supplying them
Oh.
with parts. Who's making their battery?
Let me know on that. Yeah, who's going to be the one making? I
Let
don't
you know that I'm doing the research, Danny.
Well,
Mochate.
you got to let everybody know. Why are we doing this? To let others know.
But you can't show everybody your cards, so you got to keep them on see like poker
No.
face, like
That's not the raza, man. You're going back to the raza mentality.
cuatro haces.
We got to let the raza know
Vicente Fernandez.
where pobrecito Vicente Fernandez.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking.
He's doing better though.
Is he?
Hopefully he comes through. But yeah, but you got to let the raza know, man.
All right, so I'll research it.
And then we'll bring
for
it up
next
next
time.
time.
Also, I'm gonna find out who makes their battery because the battery's a big thing.
Yeah.
If it can power your house for 3 days, it's big.
It's a big battery. Well, you got to look at, because it's a large battery to
See.
run that truck. I mean, I think the truck's going to have a tow capacity of 1,000 pounds or something like that, or something a little bit more.
I think I gotta look into it. But I
Which
thought it
to
was
be
more.
able to tow.
I thought it was 10,000. Because
Was it
1,000 is nothing.
Oh no, it's like a ton. A ton. I'm sorry.
A ton would be 2,000, huh?
Yeah, I think you could. No, is it a ton?
I thought I
One
said
ton?
10,000.
One
10,000 pounds.
tow.
5 cents.
I don't remember.
Carry the one.
But you'll be able to pull a boat or a trailer
See.
with no problem, and you'll still be able to have that same power.
I thought it was 10,000 because I remember now that you mentioned, I think they were towing, I don't know, like a
RV. One of those
like an
RV,
excavator or
yeah.
some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks promising.
Yeah.
And it looks nice. So I am really considering getting one.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, Danny. You got that kind of money?
Well, I need a truck. You know, sometimes you need a truck to go get a piece of furniture or something. You know?
That's true. Hey, for real. You always need some kind of troquita.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So
That is true.
I am seriously considering getting one next year.
Okay.
Especially because one thing I've always been hesitant to get a truck is the cost of fueling. You know, when I would borrow a family member's truck, it's like 80, 90, 100 bucks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cheap.
See.
Yeah, well, okay. And then to drive it every week, that's a lot of money.
It's pricey.
You know, I'm used to paying on my regular car that if you put gas, $40 a week,
See.
$80 a week. Like,
Yeah, we're spending like $775.
that's what I would take my wife out to dinner. After that,
And that's still expensive, bro.
yeah.
That's what I hope that's the tip too. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Cheapskates,
no,
huh?
we don't go to places where we tip, man.
Oh man, I thought I was cheap.
I
Ándale.
go to the taco place down the street.
You don't have to tip. Right there on the sidewalk.
En la sidewalk.
En la banqueta?
En la banqueta ahorita, man.
That's good.
No, I don't eat street food.
Hey, some of those are the best ones.
I will tell you stories about street vendors,
See?
but no.
Don't tell me.
No.
I'd rather continue eating there.
Yeah, no. They work hard, but there's
Health reasons. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
I got some stories, but not much.
But some of those hands, those dirty hands, are will give it the flavor.
Yeah, it's
Poquito,
true.
a
No,
li- a little
I would
salty.
say their food is good. It's just that I've seen some that are like, okay,
Questionable.
yeah. We won't talk about it. But yeah, I'm glad you bought some Ford. Man.
Yeah.
But I will look at GM. I think I need to buy some GM.
Yeah, buy some.
Yeah.
I challenge you to buy some.
Yeah.
Get rich.
But let me see if I can do that.
Yeah.
This
Está
next
caro.
week.
Cool.
Yeah. So what else you want to talk about this week?
I'm good for now. I'm
That's
done.
good. We're good.
I'm done.
That's all you had, just a Ford.
Just Ford. That was exciting for me because I seen the commercial. And I was like, "Holy crap, this looks nice!" And then when I seen that it could power your house, yeah.
But you're not going to buy a truck.
No.
But you know one thing about Ford stock? I don't know if you know that. If you own 100 shares, they'll give you a discount on buying the car.
I thought I heard something like that.
Yeah.
100 shares,
Yeah, it's 100 shares.
$13 each. 10 would be 130. So yeah, carry the one. That's a lot.
Yeah. But, you get a big discount.
That's true.
And I think you get the corporate discount, like the family discount or
See,
something like
see.
that. Yeah. I haven't tried it, but yeah, if I do get a truck, I'll let you know how that goes.
You plan on buying 100 shares?
Well, I have more than 100 shares.
A Ford?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I don't know how many I have, but yeah.
You got that kind of money. No wonder.
No. Well, I don't know about that, man. But
You got
yeah.
your Rolls Royce, your Bentley, your Prius.
Something like that.
Damn.
I don't like to brag.
I'll brag for you. Bro.
No, man, it's okay.
All right, whatever. We'll keep the Prius out of it then. That's what set you off right there when I said Prius.
Treat PS. They run too slow.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then their brakes kind of like you're slamming the brakes. Find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.